up for everything I do. So I'm not just motivated by love, I'm motivated by reward. Do you know that I got on that bus and they said, if you bring your parents this week, I don't know what week it was, but if I brought my parents, they were going to give me a bucket of bubble gum. I was 5. I went home and said, please, 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 please come to church with me. And they said, no, we're not going down there. Please, 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 please. I begged and finally they were, all right, we'll go. My parents showed up at church and heard a gospel presentation. The first time my dad ever heard the gospel was because of a bucket of bubble gum and a bus route. And my dad sat there and gripped the front of the pew and would not step out. His pride, he just was afraid of everybody looking at him and everything that was going on. He would not step out and get saved. And I remember watching there was a difference in my dad that week. As a 5-year-old boy, I remember how different it was. My dad was worried. My dad was never worried. Thursday night, the assistant pastor knocked at the door of our house. And he said, I've come here. I remember my dad going, I need to be saved. I mean, it was a divine appointment. My dad was so glad to see those people come because he knew he was lost and on his way to hell. And he had been dangling over the pit for Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, but Thursday was a glorious day in my dad's life. Changed my world, folks. My dad passed from death unto life that day, and it changed my world. I went from having a daddy that drank and smoked, had his own business and worked hard, to a daddy that went to church and walked in. I remember the second or third week, my dad was a trash man. He owned trash trucks and picked up trash and hired out for towns. And he went to my preacher, and he didn't know how to go soul winning. He didn't know how to do anything. He walked in the church. He said, preacher, you don't have to worry about the trash no more. I'll be getting the trash from this place from now on. And it wasn't long he grew him, and they made my daddy became a soul winner. My daddy drove the buses. My daddy worked on the buses. And then my daddy became a deacon. You say, listen, at 15, I grew up in that atmosphere and a home and watched the change. But I didn't know that. I just thought because my family was good, I was saved. I thought because I had prayed a prayer, I was saved. I thought all these things, but at 15, I realized I had no relationship with Jesus Christ. I realized that I was worried, that I was doubting. I didn't know where I was headed. And boy, at 15, I walked in Old-Fashioned Island, came down here, and I said, I don't care who knows about it. I don't care who gets upset about it, because I thought people thought I'd be a hypocrite. Do you know what my preacher said to me? I'm so glad you got this settled. My youth pastor said, we've been praying that you'd get this settled. He said, I wonder what heaven would have been like without you.